Morning, girls. How we doing? Back here again with Chantal, and oh no, she spent 12 hours in observation for hyperglycemia. Oh, amazing! The video starts, of course, with the "Hello, fabulous," and then her cameo shout out, and now just like Ontario beauty, and just her like filming the lake or river or whatever it is again. Bro, didn't you just like spend 12 hours in observation for hyperglycemia? Wouldn't you start this a bit more seriously? Not started immediately shilling your cameo, but I don't know what, I guess not. Foodie is a creature of her own. She's just coming straight out and be like, guys, make sure to pay me before I drop dead of my super diabetes. Give me all your money. Fantastic, let's get into it, guys.
Wow.
Wow. That's the water. I like water.
Very calm and peaceful.
Very calm and peaceful. Very calm and why do you speak like that? Why do you speak like that? Very calm and peaceful. It's like a salad bot has replaced her. She's not talking like a human anymore. Very calm and peaceful.
I love it.
I love it.
Well, hello
Yum.
guys. Welcome back to another.
What the fuck? This is so weird. So I spent 12 hours in observation for hyperglycemia. So she had to go to A&E. Whoa, guys! Hey, guys! You see this water? Very peaceful. I love it. Like, what? Okay. Do you know what? Sure. I believe this so much from the start of this.
Video.
Wow.
Today I'm going to be telling you about my story time.
My story time?
Me being in the hospital yesterday.
I unlike you.
So, I was...
So what drama happened? What drama happened that required her to do an A&E binge? And binge, I meant bees, but binge might be likely. Who knows? She's sitting there going through each of their receptacles, stealing everyone's Jello pots. Okay, so did anything major happen that caused her to have to go to A&E to try and get attention or care or anything like that? Or was Sally questioning it and going, wait, you told me you went to Canada to save your life, and suddenly you're out having buffets and stuff like that? Very suspicious, Chantal. And she's, oh wait, damn it, I have to go to A&E quickly, one sec.
in the ER for, sorry for the sun dust, for like...
Oh, it's the dust.
12 hours.
Uh-huh.
So here's what happened.
So like,
So yes,
not a short period, not a long period of time at all. She's in the A&E. If you're in for 12 hours in total, especially if it's only 12, if it's 12 hour observation, like, this doesn't really fit with her narrative where it's like, oh, you know, the emergency services over here, oh, it's so delayed, everything is so bad. Right now, actually, you got seen pretty quick.
yesterday I had a eye doctor appointment. So
Wow.
I went to the eye doctor appointment, and then, you know, as I was pulling into the driveway, I felt dizzy, and I noticed I was a lot more dizzy, and like my vision was more blurry than usual. And then during
No, thank God you're at the eye doctor appointment. You're at the right man for the job. Doctor, I can't see. You're having a heart attack, love. I can't help with that. Your heart's not in your eyes. This is so stupid. This is so stupid. Okay, Chantal, I was going to the eye doctor. Could you not have gone to like the opticians in like Q8 or anything? Why did you have to wait to come back to Canada to do that bit?
the exam, they had to put these contrast eye drops in to see behind my eyes, and it made my vision even more blurry. So I had to wait in my car to even drive.
Wow.
And I noticed that the
Oh, I'm sorry. You expect this to come? She drives in. She's like feeling terrible already. Everything's worse. For some reason, she can't see straight. But she still, after the appointment, was like, don't worry, I'll go for a wee drive anyway.
dizziness wasn't going away. The
Oh,
blurry
no.
blurry vision went away enough that I could drive. So I thought,
So I spent 12 hours in observation for hyperglycemia. Lipstick on teeth alert. That is definitely the real tragedy of this entire story. Because apart from the lipstick on the teeth, she looked so good. Do you know what I was going to say? Perfect 10, maybe. Lipstick on the teeth. 2.1.
I'm going to go to the hospital and I'm going to get checked out because,
Imagine.
you know, you hear horror stories about diabetes, ketoacidosis, hyperglycemia, going into diabetic coma.
Yeah.
So I decided to go to the emergency because
Decided to go to the emergency. Just the emergency. I went to the emergency. I heard there's a car crash down the road. I think that's an emergency. I went to it. You know, why not? Just go to the emergency. I can't believe this is what we're doing now. I can't believe we're just sitting here just listening to her just tell us like bizarre story about like, oh, just, you know what? Yeah, I just decided, why not? I'll just go to the A&E. Yeah, I just thought I might as well. Yeah, you know, why not? why wouldn't you check? She has like an actual sugar blood monitor detector. Like she's shown us it. It was a prominent like character in the storyline for all of a week and a half before, I don't know, it fell off the plane or something like that on the way back to Canada. So why didn't you just check yourself?
Walk-in clinics
before you wrecked yourself. Terrible.
We're pretty full for the day, and
crazy.
I don't have a family doctor. There's a wait list. Okay,
yeah, we know.
In Ontario,
we get it.
So I went to the ER, and I have all my file there already, so that's good.
That's fantastic.
It didn't look too busy when I got there. Honestly, I thought it was going to be kind of in and out.
So this is why I don't know how much I believe this. She decided to go to A&E in the middle of the day, because like, well, A&E in the middle of the day for most people is like the best time to go. It's usually like late at night is like a really bad time, or early in the morning. Because some people who have like issues during the night might say, you know, I'll just wait till the morning to go. Or if it's really emergency in the middle of the night, people will just go. It's also a time when like a lot of drunk people will go. So like during the day, like middle of the day is generally the best time to go in A&E. So it's so weird that coincidentally the time she needed to go to A&E was the time that it would be quietest.
Kind of thing. You know, they would prescribe insulin or something. That's what I thought, and I would get to go. So no, she'll
just walk in and be like, hey guys, diabetes, and they're like, oh yeah, and just give her some insulin. She'll just leave immediately.
I told them my symptoms. She pricked my finger, took my blood sugar. It was 23. I'll try to.
She pricked my finger. She licked it, and she's like, sherbet.
Put the conversion here somewhere in MGDL, but that's MMOL. And
it's not like one of the highest we've had. It's not one of the highest we've had. It's like I don't know how much I believe this. Like maybe she'll show footage, you know, at some point. I haven't skipped ahead. I don't do anything like that. I like to be surprised, guys. But this is like one of the highest. And like I was talking repeatedly about how we had the diabetes claim, and it just dropped off the face of the earth. Because, I don't know, because she was finally back in Canada. She could just drop the storyline. She didn't have to pretend to care anymore. But suddenly, it just came back with like a vengeance now. Suddenly we're in A&E for it. It's super bad. It's the worst it's ever been, even though like it's high, but it's not the worst. I think we had like mid 440s, I think, 400s, I think it was.
It's that's very high. So they were surprised how high it was. Then, you know, she said, okay, she took all my information. She said, now we're going to have you register. So I went to register. They give you that arm bracelet thing.
Whoa,
so then
crazy. Wow, we're really getting like all like the most boring parts of the hospital. So they give me the arm bracelet thing. It's like, yeah, bro, you're in hospital. Got that. And then they made me sit in a chair. It's like, yeah, a lot of hospitals have chairs. It's like we're getting like the greatest hits of like all the bits of the hospital that you don't really care about.
ECG, I think it's ECG. Tech came and said we're going to do an ECG.
Yes.
So they take me to this little room, like ECG. I guess they're just trying to rule everything out. They hooked me up, did the ECG.
I think they probably just looked at you and were like, you know what? Let's check her heart. Just to be safe. Just to be safe. I can't believe it. Like, come on. Like, skip through.
Then I had to wait in the waiting room, and I was waiting for a long time.
Like,
you know,
oh my God,
and
a long time.
I was just like,
oh my God.
I saw groups of people that I know registered after me go before me, okay?
So?
Now, a little cute French, and I'm French Canadian, so I can make fun of the accent. I'm not making fun, I'm just going to try to imitate it.
I'm not at all French Canadian, and I can also make fun of the accent. I'm sorry. The people who came in after me and they got to go before me. It's like, oh my God, it's almost like it's an A&E and it's like triage. Those people probably were sicker than you. You might be a land whale, but those people actually might have been sicker than you.
Because, you know, it makes the video more interesting. I don't know. You can laugh at me. No, but she came by and she was a volunteer. You know those like cute little old lady volunteers that are so nice? And she said, wow, you've been waiting here a lot, eh? And I said,
wow, fantastic. It's so fun. So I spent 12 hours in observation for hypoglycemia. I'm curious how this story's going to go, because right now I've been waiting for ages. Like, what's the 12 hours? Is it 12 hours to be seen? Were you 12 hours in observation, which meant that they kept you there and they kept an eye on you for 12 hours? Like, what is it? Because, I'm sorry, based on the story, we've kind of gone from, she went in, she got triaged, they checked her blood sugar. It was high, yeah, but it was like high. You know, she's had higher than that when she was just sitting at home eating naan bread, eating fresh naan bread. So I should say fresh. I forgot. Okay, we've been away from QA for so long. Forgot that it was fresh naan bread, guys. And then they kind of like were like, okay, and they made her sit aside after they checked her heart, and they were like, okay, well, her heart's fine. So they made her sit outside. So like, none of this is even weird yet. You know, for like going to an A&E, this all sounds like totally normal.
Yeah, and she said, "What's your name? I will go check." I said, "Chantal," and she knows how to say my name because she's French Canadian. So she said, "Oh, Chantal, salut, okay."
Oh my god, she said she knows how to say Chantal because she's French Canadian. I must be French Canadian. I know how to say Chantal. I was like, at first I thought it was Chantal. That was terrible. Chantal.
I will go check. I will come right back. So she came back and
Oh
she
my
said
God,
they didn't
so
forget you, but they're
boring.
waiting for your ECG results to figure out where to put you because there's different areas of.
ECG results are like immediate, near enough. Like I've had ECGs before. When I was in hospital last year from a whole near-death experience, like my ECG results came back like immediately. I don't know why they'd be waiting for an ECG result. Like that seems like the least believable like reason for her to say why she was made to sit outside.
The emergency K. There's urgent care, which you have to follow the yellow dots for, which is like minor things.
Fascinating, bro.
And then there's observation.
Am I like her giving this unnecessary amount of detail? I'm not really believing it. So maybe I was going to urgent care, and if you go urgent care, she thinks you follow the yellow dots, but then you might go to emergency care where you follow the red dots, or casual care, which is the green dots, or fuck off care, which is the blue dots. It leads you outside. It's really unfortunate like that. It's like you're being in A&E so often. I imagine you probably would know this. Like I could probably tell you in like I don't know the hospitals near me where exactly I'd need to go for certain things, if you've been there enough. So I don't know. I'm amazed we're not filming inside this, especially when she just films on her phone. Like at no point when she was sitting there for hours and hours and hours in the waiting room, she didn't think to like snap a selfie or film herself pulling faces.
And that's if they need to monitor you, hook you up and monitor you and stuff. Follow the green dots, and then there's emergent care. Follow the blue dots, which I don't
Oh my
even know what that
god!
means.
Oh no, blue
So,
dots.
anyways, after a while, I thought, okay, I'm gonna go to the bathroom. They haven't called me. Sure enough, the minute I sit down on the toilet seat, they call my name. So I have to hurry up.
Wow, they must be really loud. They must have really, really loud voices if they've reached you all the way in the toilet. What are we doing here? It feels really weird. Like it's like she's like reading out like script of a movie. It's like she's joking around. Like it doesn't feel natural. It doesn't feel normal. She's like trying to make this into a silly event. Like if this was real, I don't know why you'd be doing that. Especially when like I don't know when we're back in QA, she was like sitting there going, "Hi guys, I need to go back to Canada because of my health." And he were like, "Tee guys," and then I went pedals. And when I was going pedals, they were like Chantal, and the woman, well, she was French Canadian, so she's known to go Chantal to me, and it was so funny. It's like, bro, you don't come across like you're having like a real hard time, or you actually just spent 12 hours in hospital because of your diabetes level that you were totally on monitoring and going to Chinese buffets and eating Big Turks for,
And I go out, I'm like, yes, me. So the nice lady, she's like, follow me, I show you where you go. And so I was expecting to go to the yellow dots. Sure enough, I was expecting to go to the yellow dots. Well, to my surprise, I was asked to go to observation. So I was getting a little worried. They're waiting for my ECG results. I have to go to observation. But they did blood work while I was waiting in the ER waiting room, actually. They did.
Oh, when you're in the waiting room? She's sitting in the waiting room beside like a fucking couple, and they just walked out and just started draining blood from her in just front of everyone. You probably did it in the triage room. I don't think you did it in the waiting room. You went to observations. It's like, yeah, probably. Yeah, like probably, yeah. I'm sorry, like it's not that major, really, is it? She had a really high blood sugar. I get that, it was really high. But this isn't even the highest we've had recorded for Chantal in general. And during that, she was happy enough to sit at the house and not go to the doctors. So, like, I don't know why she's acting like she should be, like, treated like an actual emergency.
Blood work and hooked up an IV, just in case they need to draw blood and give fluids, all right? So
a cannula, I think you mean.
So I get to my room in observation. There's less rooms in this area. It's more small,
It's more small, intensive. Guys.
And there's I have to put on a gown that didn't fit. So I had the gown half on. And then I just made sure to keep the curtain closed.
Okay. Is this a thing in like Canadian hospitals or whatever, where they just immediately make you put on a gown? Like I thought they made people put on gowns in hospitals if they're expecting like surgery or something. Not if you're just in there for observations because you have high blood sugar, then I put on this gown. Like at no point was I made to put on a gown the entire time I was in hospital. Like, and I technically actually did have surgeries done on me. So, but at no point I just stayed there like my jeans and my t-shirt. You know, I had to have other clothes brought into me because stayed in for a while. Like, I didn't have to put on a gown at any point. Maybe it's standard in Canadian hospitals just to put on a gown. But if they're just keeping you in for observation because you high blood sugar, what's the purpose of the gown? Like, like why would they say, oh, you got to put on this gown? It's like, is it special, like sugar absorbing gown? Does it suck the sugar right out of your blood or something like that?
And my nurse comes in, she's like, hi, I don't know why you're here, but I'll find out. I was like, all right.
Fake story. That's really interesting. I don't get this. It's so fake.
So I had to retell my story. You always have to anyways. They want to hear what you have to say.
Yeah.
Asking me symptoms, all this and that. She hooked me up. My oxygen sat was 97, which is fine. My blood pressure was 135 over, I don't even know.
Sure.
And they didn't seem concerned with that. And so...
they didn't seem concerned with that number that I just pulled out of my butt. I have no idea. It could be real. It could be. I only told you half of it as well. I don't know. They didn't seem overly concerned. Well, apparently, like, Chantal has the healthiest blood pressure of any 450-pound woman.
They did take some blood from the... They just put the tube into the IV thing and take the blood that way. Very convenient.
Well,
instead of sticking you all the time, you know? So,
really? Maybe they do it like that as well, but I remember when I was in the hospital, like, I got stuck, like, every couple of hours. Like, because I had a cannula in as well, and they never took anything from the cannula, because the cannula they put stuff in through, they didn't take out of. But I guess it probably just depends, because surely, like, with a cannula, it depends on if, I don't know, I don't know. But I just never had them take anything out of the cannula. Anytime they needed blood from me, they injected me fresh. They didn't take it out of the cannula. So I don't know why they just hooked her up to the cannula just to take blood out of her over and over again.
My blood sugar started at 23 when I went in there. So I presented with, the doctor came in, it was a resident doctor. She said, you have hyperglycemia. And she said, if you didn't come when you did, I suspect that it would have developed into like ketoacidosis because of the symptoms you had.
Crazy.
Now my blood test came back that my blood wasn't acidic, but she thought.
But it was syrup, which they said was a bit of a problem. But I put it on my pancakes and it didn't taste like a problem, if you know what I mean.
That it could develop potentially into that. And so I said, oh, well, that's nice. That's not scary at all.
Like, you seem really scared about it. Also, like, you are fully, like, aware of this. Like, didn't we do the diabetes arc, like, in Q8 already? Didn't we do all this? Like, why are we acting like... She's acting like this is, like, the first time she's heard any information like this, that it's bad to have, like, I don't know, like, actual high fructose corn syrup as your blood.
Basically, I'm learning that diabetes is really no joke. So...
didn't we already learn this? Like, didn't we?
So I do feel like an ass just laughing and having a good time eating plates of Chinese food the other day. Yeah, I do.
Uh-huh.
Anyway.
Do you?
Pardon my...
But do you? Like, do you, like, go? We had this entire story where she had to change her entire life, and the reason she's back in Canada is apparently because of all this. And then, like, it was like, we were joking, like, a couple of vlogs ago, that she has totally forgotten about, like, the reason why she came back to Canada, because she hasn't mentioned diabetes, like, a single time since she came back. I like, this is why I don't believe this story, because it just feels like she's just, like, topping up the pool to be like, oh yeah, diabetes, forgot about that. Oh yeah, any trip B's, why not? We'll just claim that happened. I really wonder if we're going to get any pictures inside, because, like, so far I'm not believing this.
Language. She, said we're gonna give you insulin and try to get your blood sugar down. We want it down below 15.
Wow.
So I said, all right. She said, have you been taking your metformin? I'm on something that's a different name than metformin. I said no, because it makes me very ill and I haven't been taking it regularly.
She's on something different than metformin. She said she was on metformin when she was in Q8. So unless she's already changed medication since coming to Canada, even though she said she hasn't been able to see a doctor at all, which would be very suspicious, she did claim she was actually on metformin.
So that's a no-no also. So she gave me my first dose of insulin and then took a blood test about 20 minutes later. My blood sugar went down to 16.5.
Wow.
And then they did some blood work. I forget the name of the test. I'll have to put it here somewhere. Osmo something. That, because when you're diabetic, you urinate more frequent.
Yes.
But if you're not drinking, if you're dehydrated and not having enough fluid or something, it leaves like sediment.
I'm just kind of chilling here because right now I don't really have anything to comment, like, on this bit specifically. I just don't really know how much I buy any of this so far. I'm really just waiting to see if we get any footage inside, or anything. I don't really take a picture of yourself in the gown.
In your blood. I don't know. So I was highly dehydrated from these blood tests. So they gave me some
Sure, I
fluid,
believe you
and
entirely.
oh man, it wasn't on a pump. It was like a drip.
I was highly dehydrated from these blood tests. How much blood does she think they take out of you? They take out like tiny amounts. I don't think like taking out 2 tiny spriggans of like blood will dehydrate you, especially because you probably could just ask for some water.
So it was so slow, and I had to keep my arm a certain way or it would drip even slower. Anyway, I hate when you flush your line. You can taste the saline in your body. Oh well. Anyway, the staff was very nice.
It's like I said, it feels like she's trying to give like too much information. She's trying to give like too many details. It's like, I've always said, like you can generally tell when someone's lying to you when they give you just so many unnecessary pieces of information, and it really feels like that's what we're getting here. It really feels like we're just sitting here and she's giving us just so much information.
So I was, there for many hours at that point. And then they tested, my blood sugar. It was like 13 something. They gave me another dose of insulin. And then finally, by the end of everything, by the time I got home, I left with an insulin, with a blood sugar reading of 11. It's a lot better than 23, but still high.
Okay. I don't know how diabetes work. I don't know if you got insulin, would it just like over half your blood sugar? It might, so I can't comment on that bit at all.
I was
not really what I'm
starving,
interested in at all.
I felt really...
I was starving, and do you know what? Jack Lee's had just opened, and I also had that big Turk still stuck down the side of my car seat. The hospital staff didn't see that one.
Dizzy and nauseous though, but I was still hungry. Like, I was starting to feel a bit better, but
I was so hungry. If I'm meant to believe this story is real, maybe don't end I spent 12 hours in observation for hypoglycemia, but I was really hungry.
I was so tired and hungry. It was like 12 hours since I've eaten.
Wow.
So the lady said we want to...
It's like 12 hours since so she spent 12 hours in total, including being treated in A&E. So like not very long at all. Like not like that's not actually very long. 12 hours in A&E in total, including treatment to potentially save her life. She made it sound like it was like, oh, I mean, I was kept there for days. They were forcing me to stay there.
Give you something to eat to see how you tolerate it. So she brings this sandwich that was like, the hospital food is horrendous. I'm sorry. And you know what doesn't make sense to me? I mean,
I don't know, maybe if you pay your taxes more, they can afford better food. There you go.
I know it's not a 5-star hotel, but like they gave me a turkey sandwich on brown, but it was like stale brown bread with like 1 slice of turkey and butter on it. It was like gross, but I ate some.
It was like gross. Oh, I'm so sorry we couldn't accommodate the 450-pound super diabetic woman. Oh, I'm so sorry about that. We'll bring our Michelin star chef in next time.
Some of it, because that was the best sandwich when you're starving. Okay, they gave me water, so I ate that in the water. But then they gave me apple juice, like full sugar apple juice, and a full sugar, not diet, low fat.
Okay, so this is like a fake story. So what we have here is what we call a fake story, because it's a fake story. Like, sure, did they bring you out a Coca-Cola as well and be like, here you go, love. Shh, don't worry, you're on the insulin now. I'll be fine.
Gluten-free. It was a whole sugar-loaded muffin, apple cinnamon muffin.
Believe you so much.
And I'm thinking, I'm in the hospital in observation for hyperglycemia, and you're giving me sugar, because if I would have eaten that and drank the apple juice with it, they would be giving me more insulin, I'm sure.
Yeah, okay, so it's a fake story. Thanks for confirming it. Like, I mean, we had this entire time to see if we got any form of confirmation this is a fake story, but like, oh, okay. It's why I say adding too many details, trying to make it seem too interesting, too quirky. Cool.
It was just so weird. I was telling Salon, like, I'm here for...
I was telling Salon, he was like, oh, Chantal, I don't actually exist. I'm never going to stop doing that.
For glycemia, and they're giving me sugar.
And he was like, I have no idea what you say. I do not know what you mean. Please give me script for my next video on garlic bread or whatever the fuck.
Anyway, so I didn't eat that. I said, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sure.
She's like, hey, you don't have to. She's like, I didn't cook it, so I'm not going to be insulted. About that. I said, no, it's just that, I'm just afraid to have.
You don't cook apple juice. I'm just Chantal, so your story also doesn't make sense. But like, cool, bro. I told the doctor, hey, doctor, I will not eat this muffin. I know she's probably telling the weird stuff, but I like, come on. Can we just not? Can we maybe get a picture of you here at some point in the next 5 minutes?
Have something with sugar, and she's like, oh, okay, I'll take it away. So that was that. They just told me to stay. They didn't prescribe me insulin. They told me to just stay on my metformin type of drug that I have from Kuwait. And
we keep changing what it is. She specifically claimed that she was on metformin. She specifically said, I remember her saying that because she said she doesn't like taking it because it actually makes her sick. Now it's a metformin-like drug that she's on.
to follow up with a family doctor, which I don't have, so that won't be happening.
Okay.
So
they didn't prescribe you anything long term, and they just said follow up with your family doctor, which they would be aware that she doesn't have, because I'm pretty sure they'd ask her and she'd say, I don't have. So what?
I thought that's where my night ends. You know, she comes in, she says, do you want to go home? Because I think they were going to keep me. And I said, I really want to go home. I'm so tired.
I think they were going to keep me. They just gave me a choice. It's like, no, I'm pretty sure they would have been throwing you out, especially if there's under as much pressure as you're claiming they are. They would just be like, stay. Go on, stay. Go on. It's going to be fun. We're going to have a party. Just like, no, I think like, I don't know. Go. They probably just buttered her up and just slid her out the door.
I don't have my CPAP. You know, I'm just sweaty from just laying in the little cot.
I'm sweaty from lying down. Do you know how much work that is?
Bottom hurts so bad, my lower back. I want to go home.
So lose the weight.
So she let me go home.
She probably sent you home like it's a hospital. It wasn't like an amusement park. They didn't let you leave. They probably sent you home.
Yeah, she let me go home.
Wow.
And
this is the most boring story
I thought my
I've
night was
ever heard.
over. So, you know, she takes out my IV and everything.
Oh, God.
And
Never ends, guys.
I had to go to the parking garage. It's cold, it's dark, it's creepy. I'm on the top floor, the 5th floor of the parking garage. That's where
And I was waiting for the Loch Ness Monster to come out and get me, guys.
my car's parked, because there was nowhere to park. When I came in, the parking lot was almost full.
Wow.
So, I had to take an elevator.
Sure.
Parking garage elevators are one of the types of elevators I'm the most scared of. You guys know I have issues with elevators.
Do you? You kind of keep changing that back and forth over and over again because you claim you don't actually have issues with it anymore. Like, we've only got like 4 minutes left. Like, where are we going with this? Where are we going? Is the elevator, is it Final Destination? Does the elevator fall or something like that? Why are we still going with this? It's not interesting anymore.
Claustrophobia. I got stuck in them before, so I have some trauma there.
I believe you.
So I just started trusting elevators again.
Maybe just like, I don't know, maybe after your 12 hours in observation for hyperglycemia, maybe after all of that, you're like, you know what? I'm going to take the stairs. I'm going to start battling to better myself. I'm going to take the stairs instead of taking the escalator. You know, sorry, elevator. Maybe do that. It was just, nah. I need to hold on to them calories.
Since where I live in Kuwait, we take an elevator, right? So, but I'm always with Salah.
Yeah, sure.
Anyway, so
I'm always with Salah, you know, just in case I get stuck in the elevator. It's better to be stuck in the elevator with an extra person. That certainly doesn't come across as more claustrophobic or anything like that.
By myself, my phone is dead at this point.
Sure,
because I didn't think I would be in the hospital for 12 hours, so I didn't plan right.
This is the woman who's complaining that like the wait time in A&E was 20 hours in her last videos when she was criticizing the Canadian healthcare system. She was complaining the wait time was 20 hours. Her full treatment time was 12 hours. Not the wait time, the full treatment time was 12 hours. But she thought, oh, I'd be in and out. I'd be in and out the door super quickly. Your story doesn't add up. This is why it seems really fake.
All right, so the elevator comes, I press the button and I can hear it like boom, 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 going through the levels to come in and get me.
Wow.
I get in, 5th floor, the door's closed, everything's fine until I get to the 5th floor. I feel like a little drop, and I'm thinking, okay, it's just leveling out. The elevator has to level. Because as somebody who's afraid of elevators, I've watched many videos on how they work to help me, like, desensitize, to help me understand.
Sure, bro. You know what? Whatever you say. If she's gonna go pretend she got stuck in the elevator or whatever, it's just like, cool. Did she realize that halfway through telling the A&E story was, like, too boring and too fake? I was like, oh, well, I really gotta spice it up somehow. I got stuck in the elevator. God. Oh, God. If only it wasn't an evil, disgusting Western elevator. If only it was the Q80 elevator. The Q80 elevator works perfectly every time. And if it doesn't, well, I have Salah there. An elevator electrician and a mechanic, I guess, who would just instantly fix it for me.
That, you know, I'm going to be okay. The doors don't open, and I'm thinking, okay, it's just going to take a while to level. Some elevators do that.
Sure.
Nope, doesn't open. I'm stuck in the elevator, okay?
So the story's fake,
I got stuck
then.
in the parking lot elevator, and I'm like, I don't have my phone. What am I going to do? It's freezing. It's not...
bro, I don't know why I don't think you have to worry about being cold. I just don't think you have to worry about being cold. Like you're fine. You're 450 pounds. It's an elevator. Like it's quite a small, cramped box. Your general heat that you are radiating would fill that up pretty fucking quickly.
A heated elevator because it's in a parking garage. I'm like, oh my gosh, I'm in this cold steel metal box trapped. And
as opposed to steel plastic. You just want to specify steel metal instead of, if you guys are thinking steel plastic, it wasn't steel metal.
I'm thinking, oh my gosh, I start immediately panicking, like that fight or flight response that I'm like, oh my gosh, my worst fear, I'm thinking, but I had to like reason with myself, okay, my worst fear is happening. What am I going to do? You know? And I'm like, okay, just stay calm. I'm like, screw this. I took my hand. It was one of those doors that were split. They opened like this. So I just like pried, because I was on the 5th floor. I must have been.
Yeah, you didn't hit the emergency button or the call button or anything like that. No. She-Hulk Charo here decided to pry the doors open with her bare hands.
Like, you know, so I pried the doors open with my hands and it wasn't fully leveled. So I had to like kind of like...
Yeah, so then the door wouldn't open. If it wasn't level, the door wouldn't open. Yeah, doors have locks on them in elevators. You can't just pry them open between floors with your bare hands. That's the point of the door lock. Can we not, like, we've got 2 minutes left. I'm assuming we're not getting any photos here of her actually in the NA.
Step up a bit to get out. So I'm like, that's what happened. It wasn't leveling. So the doors won't open if the elevator's not leveled for...
Except when I open them. The door won't open if it's not level. Well, except if I do it. But that's because I'm like, you know, the world's strongest man. And I literally rip them open, smashing the lock asunder just so I can get out. Yeah. Believable story there, Chantal.
You know, security features. Well...
Yeah, security feature, yeah.
I pried those doors open and they opened and I got out anyways.
Yeah, those doors that won't open, You know there's just like that pause there where she's like, oh, wait, that didn't work. That actually doesn't make sense. Okay, damn it. Whoops. Yeah, just that. Never mind. Keep moving, guys.
Like, I'm never taking that elevator. I'm like, see ya. I actually verbally looked at the elevator and flipped it off.
No,
I'm not kidding. That was very cross of me, but... Whew.
I'm sorry, guys. This was very cross of me. Do you know what also is really cross? Making up stories. Lying and making up stories is also considered very cross.
I can't ever go back. It will remember that and trap me again. See how my dumb mind works.
This is
anyway,
so stupid. This is embarrassing.
So that's my story.
I can't believe she's actually pretending to have gone to A&E. Holy shit.
Very scary, and I never want to go through that again. I don't want to pass away from this. Diabetes is just...
Yeah, sure. You should be taking it very seriously.
Not something to mess with.
Oh my god, this is like the mental health thing. I used to laugh at her because she would just talk for ages during a video, and then she gives an update on her mental health and goes, and for my mental health, it's been hard recently. And then she would like change personality. She's trying to do that here. Oh
and I
my
think
god.
I've fully grasped that, having gone through
Have you? Oh,
every time I think there's
like
a new low and I get a health problem, I think, okay, this is it. But I think this is definitely it. And I can't, in good conscience, continue to eat crappy food, especially on the channel, knowing that I've just revealed to you guys how it affects my health. So I'm going to be focusing on health journey.
That's literally what you said like 2 weeks ago. But cool, pop off, dude.
And, you know, just vlogs and being healthy and,
yeah,
you know, you could say, well, you're going to lose money, you're going to lose views. I don't care about that for one. But honestly, if you look at my videos, that's not true. My vlogs get more views than my mukbangs anyways. So...
Oh, to be fair, that's because of you've just gone back to Canada. Because if you look at her vlogs, especially on like her travel channel, or like her like going to like see the camels, they got terrible views compared to her mukbang. They never got higher views than her mukbang. It's because you're back in Canada. That's why. Because you're back in Canada right now. People are waiting for you to drop the tea or to go crazy or something. Like the gimmick is going to wear off very quickly, and that is something she really needs to be careful about because she's treading the line. Like, people are going to lose patience with her very quickly if we just keep getting this nonsense, especially like really fake stories like this. Like, what was the point of this video? I should have fit 12 hours in observation for hypoglycemia. There's no evidence that even happened. There's no evidence she was in there. The story was fake. Like, she had to add too many extra details. None of it made sense. And we're just sitting at the end being like, oh, well, that was 16 minutes of my life, I guess.
I just want to share. I just want to help. If I don't care about how many views it gets. Like,
what?
you know, obviously views are nice, but
with what?
If I can help somebody and help myself at the same time, it's a win-win.
Help with what do you think you can help someone with? Like, what can you help someone with? You're fully aware of this. Like, if I was to believe the story, she was fully aware of how bad her diabetes were. But she went back to Canada and then just immediately started eating chocolate and taking us on a driving tour of her favorite restaurants.
All right, so thanks for listening to my story.
God.
I've just been very busy, but I hope to go live and do more content for you guys. Yada, yada, yada. So I haven't been feeling the greatest. And when you don't feel great, you can't really do much, you know?
That's a bro. Dead.
So here's to hoping I get better. All right, guys, thanks for listening.
Wow, literally no evidence.
I'll see you guys in the next video.
Oh my God, there was literally no evidence. No evidence the entire time. Oh, okay. I guess that's it. There's literally no evidence for this whatsoever, guys. Terrible. Like, actually, like, terrible. Okay, guys. Well, I don't believe this whatsoever. There's literally no evidence that this even happened. It is just silly. It is just actually silly. Yeah. That's really all I have to say. It's just, yep. It is just something, I guess. That's going to be the end of the video, guys. Have a good one. Take care of yourselves. Bye-bye.